What's going on, fellow knife lovers? Welcome to Nice Knives. How would you like to own a Spyderco that isn't going to break the bank, that isn't going to cost you 200 bucks or even 100 bucks? In fact, this knife will only cost you about $50 to $60. This is the Spyderco Tenacious. This is a very good option for those of you who haven't ever bought a Spyderco, or those who are considering getting into Spydercos and you're not quite sure you're going to like the ergos or the feel, because they are pretty similar. I'm going to show you the comparisons to my two Spydercos here that are made in the USA. The fit and finish is pretty darn close. The action, pretty darn close. There's only a few minor differences, and I will show you those differences. But let's go over the Tenacious here. This one has a very nice G10 scales, very good texture. A lot of the Spydercos have G10. They use G10 a lot for their scales, and this G10 is basically identical to the other G10s on some of the higher end knives from Spyderco. So that is one of the things that is very similar. This one here has T6 for the body screws, and it has a T8 for the pivot. Reversible clip, 4 different directions: tip up and tip down right side, and tip up and tip down left side, just like my Para 2. So there is that. You have yourself a nice lanyard hole running through the body. And this lanyard here I got from my buddy Faithful EDC. Check his channel out. He's doing great work over there. He makes some awesome lanyards, and he has some very good knife content as well. So don't forget to check out my buddy here at Faithful EDC. This also has stainless liners that are skeletonized inside. This one is liner locked. You got your jimping here, running on phosphorus bronze washers, just like my Para Military 2 and just like my Para 3. Spidey hole, the same diameter as the two that are made in the US. Reverse flicks, just like those. This one is fully flat ground, HCR 13 MOV blade steel. You got yourselves a nice satin finish. You can see the grind lines running vertically down the blade. A nice plunge grind here coming down. And just like the other Spydercos, I'll show you those in a second, but there's not really a sharpening choil for Spydercos to speak of. But yeah, so that's neither here nor there. You can see it says China, very small, which I do appreciate there. And there is some sort of logo here. I don't even know what it is. It looks like a goofy letter E with a arrow on it. I think I have that same logo. This one's a little different. Anyway, I'm going to leave that right there. There's the Para 3. We're going to put that there. Yeah, so anyway, you got, like I said, you got your nice clip. You got your T8, your T6, skeletonized liners, liner lock. Very comfortable with the G10. Your good full 4-finger grip. Your nice jimping there for a nice rest for your thumb to get in those heavy cuts. Fully flat ground, just like the Para 3 and just like my Para Military 2. And this thing is only going to run you about $50. I'm going to post that link in the description for you in case you're interested in that knife, and I'll make sure that I post the cheapest link to this knife. Now, it does have HCR 13 MOV steel compared to my Para 2 or Para Military 2 that has crew wear. And this one here, my Para 3, is CTS BD1N. So definitely that's where you're saving your money. You're getting a lower quality steel, but HCR 13 MOV isn't a bad steel. Yeah, it's not a great steel. It just gets a bad name because everybody on the internet, you know, including myself, everybody wants a better steel, right? You want, oh, I want my Magna Cut, or I want my crew wear, or I want my S30V or my S35VN. I love those blade steels, but this is not a bad blade steel. Kershaw uses HCR 13 MOV a ton on their budgety stuff. CRKT, they use HCR 13 MOV a lot as well for their stuff. It's going to hold a decent edge. It's pretty corrosive resistant, and it's just a good beginner steel. It's going to sharpen super easily. Beginners have no problem. You'll have no problem sharpening this knife at all, as long as you take your time and you're trying to keep that angle properly. but I think it gets a bad name. People love to poop on HCR13 MOV, and it's better than 420 high carbon. It's better than 440. I think HCR is a fine steel, so don't let that bother you. But I think for 50, 60 bucks, you're going to get yourself a nice knife here. And if you put it up against the Paramilitary 2, you're going to see the ergos are pretty similar. For sure, you get almost the same ergos. Clearly, the PM2 is higher quality, but the size is pretty darn close. You get beefier hardware on the PM2. You get the T10 pivot, and your T8 body, and your T6 clip versus the T8, T6, and T6 for the clip. The clip, however, is almost identical. Almost identical. You get a deeper cut for the Spyder logo on the clip than you do on the Tenacious here. But yeah. These do have some interesting little logos. I don't know what they mean. You could see that one there versus that one there. It must mean something, but I don't know what it means. But yeah, I think they're pretty darn similar. And I think for the price, for a beginner entry-level Spyderco, this is a great knife. You're not going to have any issues with this knife whatsoever. Let's get some measurements. We're getting here full length, 7 3/4 inches for the whole knife. The blade's meeting up with the scale, 3.5 inches. And the cutting edge, just shy of 3.5 inches. The length of the handle, we're looking right near 4.5 inches for the length of the scales. The weight of the Tenacious here. We're going to guesstimate. We're going to guesstimate this thing. I'm going to say 4.5 ounces. We're looking at 117.7 grams, 4.1 ounces. So I was way off, but that's even better. I'm glad it's lighter. Throw it up against these bad boys here. The PM2 right there and the Para 3. It fits right between the two. So it's a great option for that. You don't want something too large. You don't want something too small. Then the Tenacious is going to be in that perfect middle range for you. We're going to put this also up against the Kaiser Sheepdog. This is the Nebula carbon fiber. Very nice knife, S35 VN blade steel. And then we're going to put it up against the Heretic Mini Pariah that has the exclusive glow-in-the-dark scales with the MagnaCut Tanto steel blade there. So there you go. Now let's quickly take a look at the edge retention sheet for HCR13 MOV. HCR13 MOV sits right here, right next to Oz 8 steel, and they are on this chart side by side at the same height level there. So if you're more curious on the steel comparisons, I would just Google it. Google Oz 8 versus HCR13 MOV, and you could see the differences for yourself. Let's get you a bonus knife in here. The bonus knife I chose today, this is the Forever Steel Atheron. Has nothing to do with these knives whatsoever, but I wanted to show you guys this crazy, crazy knife here. Full titanium, mirror polished titanium backspacer. This thing is just wild. Got some crazy millwork here for the pivot accents. A lot of different grinds going on here on the blade. This is mostly hollow ground, and then it turns into a flat ground here. You got like a groove or a fuller running through, and a nice little thumb rest. This thing is wild. This thing is just wild. Frame lock, little dinosaur paw there. I got to get a full review on this thing at some point, but this thing is just nuts. I don't know. I'm going to have to, just want to entice you. I want to entice you for when I finally do get a review of this bad boy. But it reverse flicks like a dream. I don't have any problems there. The blade's so heavy that it just drops right shut, and you also can thumb roll it open, but it looks super cool. It's actually pretty darn comfortable to hold. Very cool knife. So yeah, tell me what you guys think of this in the comments below. I'm curious to see your thoughts on the Forever Steel or Reich. It's Keto or Keto / Reich / Forever Steel. They always make some really crazy stuff. So there you go. That's the bonus knife, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my explanation of the Tenacious here. Is this something you'd be interested in? Or would you rather just skip the China-made version and go straight to a USA-made version? Or if you never owned a Spyderco before, would you be interested in picking that up? Let me know below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. We're going to catch you guys in the next video. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.